Oh, I see we have a guest coming on.
I can't wait to meet her. You've been talking about this. I almost called her a young lady again. What am I, a boomer? This woman, this badass for a while. But tell us about Dasia. Who is this lady? Why is she here?
So Dasia is one of my newest mentees, like my real life in-person mentees. So I met Dasia because I noticed that I always check my numbers for Get Good with Money, my book. And I noticed I had this huge uptick. And I was just like, this is not, it literally was like sales had doubled, like 2.5. You know, like normally I sell maybe like an 800 or 1,000. It was like 2,400 one week. And I was like, that's unusual. So I searched my socials. I was like not TikTok. I said Instagram, nothing special there. Facebook, nothing special. Twitter. But I was like, it's something. Someone has said something. And maybe it's in a magazine or but I feel like if that happened, someone would have tagged me. But because I'm old... ish. It ended up being TikTok. And the only way, because I have a TikTok, but y'all know I don't be going there. Someone actually shared the TikTok on Facebook, which is where I found it, because that's the only way I was going to see it.
Oh,
and
girl.
It was this beautiful Black woman shouting out Get Good with Money. And it was such a great endorsement. I never met her. She had the book and she was just saying how awesome it was and how she's like, I have a Roth IRA, guys. I have a Roth IRA. It was just so awesome. And I was like, oh my gosh. So then I saw that it was had over 100,000 views, all these comments. And so I found her on TikTok and I found her on Instagram as well. I ended up reaching out to her. It was like, thank you so much. If you're ever in Jersey, let me know. We can link up. And she was like, actually, finna be in Jersey this week. I was like, really? And so we ended up hanging out and she was so dope. I was like, you're my new mentee. You're my new mentee. There's no ifs, ands, buts about it. And so we wanted to have Dasia come on because she's awesome. Honestly, Dasia doesn't even need a mentor. She's one of these, I'm going to win no matter what, which is the best type of mentor because I could just get a front row seat to her winningness.
She's so funny too. I started following her after you talked about her.
Yeah,
she is Dasia Says So on TikTok. We'll put a link in the bio. Look at me in the bio, in the notes.
Yeah, we're going to link your TikTok. So Dasia, come on up. She's here with us.
Hi, everyone.
Hi, Dasia.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well.
So Dasia, tell us a little about yourself. For one, tell us what do you do? Who are you? Let the people know.
Oh, well, my name is Dasia Miles-Langaigne, and I'm from Boston, Massachusetts. I currently take classes at Northeastern. I own a business. I owned a vending machine for a little while, which was inspired by the Dreamcatcher Facebook group, actually. And I do TikToks occasionally and shout out people's books as well.
So
what do you study?
Go ahead.
Or that too. No, because I'm an old lady. I'm like, tell me what you're studying.
Well, I am doing a certification in project management at the moment.
Oh, wow. Okay. Nice. All right. So business wise, is the TikTok the business?
No. So I did an internship in 2019 in New Jersey called Development. And one of the requirements was to create your own business concept. And my business concept was centered around self-care. It started off as a skincare brand, but during that same summer, I had lost my cousin due to mental illness as well. So I kind of shifted the direction to more mental health centered. So I create skincare, self-care products, and just try to be a light for people on the internet as much as I can by providing them with products to also indulge in themselves or take a moment to connect with yourself on a more intimate level.
Oh, well, we're sorry about your loss, Dasia. Can you share what's the name of your company? Maybe people want to. We'll share the show notes, the link in the show notes.
Sure. So my business is called Sincerely Sanguine, which is an actual real word, which people don't know. So sanguine means optimistic or positive in an apparently bad or difficult situation. Mm-hmm. And sincerely is the sign off, or also to mean genuine. So you're sincerely optimistic or positive in an apparently bad or difficult situation.
See, that's why she's my mentee.
Do you make this stuff yourself? Because I thought you were a book. I was like, oh, she's a book talker. That's her thing. But no, that's just on the. Okay. All right. Okay. Nice. Do you make the products yourself?
I do. I've been doing it since 2019, obviously, but I do make them myself and I use them myself. So I know that they work.
I can see your glow.
I know.
Thank you.
I was like, if you guys are not watching us on YouTube, you're lost because Dasia is glowing on here. She's adding to the melanin like display on display between, we have every range.
Thank you.
Awesome.
No.
So any?
Go ahead.
Okay,
Sorry.
go ahead.
Me and Mindy like,
I was going to ask for anyone because how old are you? Do you mind me asking?
No, I don't mind at all. I'm 24 years old. I turned 25 December 25th of this year.
Oh, will you be best friends with my cousin Anna? She's 24 and she's also really interested in the mental health wellness space. So that's my first question. My second question is for people in their early 20s, what advice do you have for someone wanting to start a business? And it sounds like you've had a couple. You had a vending machine, then also the skincare line. So what interested you in starting a business, and like any advice for young people listening?
So my initial life plan that I had for myself was becoming a teacher. I thought that's what I wanted to do. And then the pandemic hit. So I figured, no, I'm not teaching on Zoom. That's not going to be my introduction to teaching. So because of the internship, I had a business. So I figured I will just kind of like jump around from job to job and focus on my business. So that's what I ended up doing. In terms of advice for people that are interested in starting a business, I would say figure out what industry you would like to get into, and then research people that are doing what you're interested in doing. So I watched a lot of YouTube videos. I also leaned on my resources because there are people who, for development, they have a business. So I would ask them questions, and we also have a cohort. So people in the cohort, I would also ask them questions. So I would just say do your research, figure out which industry you want to go into, and trust yourself. It could be a scary process, especially if you're the first business owner in your family. But if you have a desire and this is something that you're passionate about, just trust yourself and be willing to do that. Step out on faith and be willing to do that.
That was really honestly, I couldn't have phrased it better. That's such great advice for people who are just kind of starting out, just figuring it out. So I meant to share, that's how I met Dasia. I spoke at Development. It's a nonprofit that helps young Black kind of future or fledgling entrepreneurs. And a friend of mine sits on their board and was like, "Hey, Tiffany, could you come and speak?" And I said, "Sure." And so that's how I ended up meeting Dasia. So share with us, if you don't mind, kind of where are you on your financial journey? How's that going? So that way someone who might be in your age range can kind of get a gauge of the good, the bad, the ugly. We don't mind. No judgment here.
Sure. So if I'm being completely honest, I'm only 90% whole because I haven't finished the last chapter of your book, but I've just been really busy. But I'm pretty sure I have the information that I need at this point with the 90%. But I feel like because of your book, I have a good gauge on where I want to see myself financially. You asked me where I see myself in 5 years, and I said I want to own a house, which wasn't realistic, but I just said something. So realistically, loans are my main priority right now, but due to Biden, where I can get that forgiven, I get 20%, 20,000 forgiven because I did get the Pell Grant.
Okay.
Oh, nice. What does that leave you with? Is that all of it?
No, I have 4,000 left, but I can knock that out.
That's huge.
Yeah.
Thank you for putting a face to the life-changing impact of that policy. Yeah. That's amazing.
So loans is top priority. Savings for retirement. You said put a name to your future self. My future self's name is Tony Childs, after Tony from Girlfriends, because that's my favorite show.
First of all, the fact that that's her future self. Meanwhile, that's me now. I'm Dasia, don't make her so old.
She's like, yeah, I love to watch old shows on TV, vintage.
That's my life.
Girlfriends, period pieces. About being a Black woman in America.
Oh my God. Okay, go ahead. So Tony Childs, which is me now, literally. I'm like, damn, okay, go ahead.
Also progressing in my business, finding a way to be more consistent. I feel like when I'm consistent, I do well. But because I just do so much, it's kind of hard balancing everything. I didn't say this, but I do Taekwondo. I just recently got my black belt. So that was taking up a lot of my time.
Of course you did.
So that was taking up a lot of my time. So now that I've done that, I still want to contribute to my class because they do like this like loyalty. You have to be loyal to your dojo. So I have to contribute to that. But I also want to like put myself first and do what I want to do. So business, loans, and just preparing for my future are like my three main top priorities at the moment.
Can we get into like so where are you now? Is this your apartment? You live with your folks?
I live with my dad currently.
Do you have like a little like science like lab where you're concocting skincare stuff there? How do you do skincare stuff? How do you go from the idea to making the product to selling it? Like what's your whole like business look like? I'm curious about that.
Well, I know that cleanliness is very important. So I make sure I like sterilize everything, make sure everything's clean. Again, this comes in terms of like when you see what other people do and what you shouldn't do. I've seen other businesses, cleanliness is not the top priority. So for me, cleanliness is the top priority. And I make sure that a lot of my products have the consistent preservatives in them so that you're not getting bad batches. Also, I make sure I'm on top of the batch type so that if there's something potentially wrong with your batch, I understand like which batch it was and I can correct it. I also am like, I do everything from my room or from the kitchen, or there's like a space down the street where I go and just do work there. So I just try to find spaces that work for me because I'm only one person.
I'm going to say, how do you do it by yourself? So I'm assuming the business is like small now. I mean, and is the plan to grow, scale, like maybe, I don't know, what comes next?
Yeah. So when I did the business consulting internship, I was consulting a business. I came back this year. They asked me to come back and I was the business that they were consulting. So they gave me feedback on how to improve and how to scale my business. So I haven't read the report because I just recently got it, but I have to read the report and sit with it and just see what kind of feedback that they gave me. But one of the feedback was to get other people to assist me because it's a one-person job as a solo entrepreneur, and just creating all the products by yourself, doing customer service, doing your website, all that stuff by yourself is just not realistic. It's possible, but it's a lot of work, and it's a lot. I just can't do everything by myself.
Mm-hmm. No, I think honestly, Dasia, I think anyone who's listening to you is like super impressed. Now you can see Mandy where I was like, you're my mentee, no questions asked. Because you just are like, you sound like me and Mandy now. Like on top of your stuff. You know what I mean? Like the fact that you're like, just for, the caveat, I'm only 90% financially whole. I'm like, girl, like at your age, the average is 0% financially whole. Like, and the fact that you've started a business so early. So one of my things that, I've really been leaning into now is like living well now. Like, how are you making space for Dasia? Like on top of all these impressive things that you're checking off your list, what about you as a young woman, as a person? How, like, what does that look like for you?
In terms of putting myself first?
Yeah, just like making space for you.
Taking care of myself.
Yeah, because I know, like, I love that your brand is about mental health. So it's like, how are you making sure that you're not burnt out, that you're not overworked and overwhelmed?
Well, working out is something that I do. I'm going to be completely honest. I'm really not good at prioritizing myself or my needs because I have more like a go mentality and the job's going to get done regardless. So right now I'm learning or trying to learn how to put myself first and put my needs first because I feel like I need to take care of everybody, not like in a savior, just like I like to be helpful. And sometimes that can be to your own detriment. So just trying to find ways to put myself first, even if that be just staying in the house and watching TV, because sometimes I'll just go see my grandmother. That's something I do too. I go see my grandmother because there's really not much I can do besides just spend time with her. So that's a way for me to decompress and just take time for myself. So doing things that I love is how I put myself first or try to put myself first.
Okay.
Yeah. What's your why for your business? Why start a business at 24? I'm curious.
I feel like my business is larger than myself. Just based off of what's happening in the world, people are committing suicide at alarming rates of many different ages. And I feel like people are more willing to have the conversations now but it's more so how to create that space where it's safe and it's comfortable for other people. Honestly, somebody can say like, I'm feeling suicidal, but if we don't have the knowledge or language to best support them, there's really not much you can do. So I just want to provide people with that space to just know that I've been through what you've possibly been through. And even if I haven't, I'm just here to support you. And at least you know that there's a community of other people that can support you during a difficult time. Or even if you're not having a difficult time, maybe you could be that support for someone else.
Deja,
I love
you
that.
are
It's much deeper than just a product.
Yes. You're just amazing. And you are what's right with the world, you know?
Thank
and
you.
No, for real. And I just
that children are our future.
teach them well and let them lead the way. Deja, do you know that song? I know you don't.
I do. It's by Whitney Houston.
Okay, look at Deja. So
That
no,
old
we just
singer
honestly,
from the past. Yes.
we want to thank you so much because I think folks who are listening, one, I don't want you to feel bad if you're listening like, oh my gosh, Deja is 24 and she's ahead of where I am. That instead, it's just that, you know, like there is a bright light that all is not lost. And sometimes we can get so overwhelmed with what's happening in the world that there are Dejas out there who are out here, you know, like figuring out how to slay and pay it forward, you know? And so I'm just really impressed by like, you know, by, yes, you're driving your focus, but really too, like your heart for wanting, like, you know, you saw something, you know, that affected you deeply. And you created a solution around it, you know? All my wish and hope for you is as you walk on this journey that you make sure to always incorporate taking care of yourself, you know, like, because like this is what I tell Mandy all the time. Mandy, you're smart. You navigate with integrity. You work really hard. You're consistent. You always gonna have. You will always have. You don't have to like road runner your way through stuff like, because you have those things, you're always going to have. Will there be times when things are rough and tough? Certainly. But you're smart, you're consistent, you navigate with integrity, and you're hardworking. You will always have. But so knowing that part, it's like in your back pocket already, making sure that while you go get it, you are looking after yourself. Because that is not the guaranteed part. You know, that's the part you have to make sure that you know, you prioritize. Any words you want to, last words, Mandy, you want to share with Deja?
Yeah, I mean, I think you're extraordinary. And I think also when I was younger, when I started things, I would sometimes be really hard on myself about wanting to change my mind and like learning those lessons. And I feel like I wish I hadn't resisted that so much because that's part of the beauty of like starting things at all and starting them young. Because you can choose to go in different directions. Clearly you already are, you know, exploring many different opportunities. And I just would say, stay open to new things and stay open to the lessons and just know that, you know, anything that you're learning from what you're doing now can be applicable like 10 years from now, 15 years from now. And I'm just so happy to know you and
Thank you.
happy to have gotten to know you. And
you'll be getting another mentor.
I'm going to set her up on a play date with my cousin Anna. That's all.
No, this is what we like. No,
I love matching. But I love matching women who have like similar interests, but also like at different stages. I think that's the most powerful thing. So if you want a new friend, I got one.
Yes, it's always
I'm not
that part.
To that.
Yes, that honestly, like, look at me and Mandy. Honestly, we help each other out so much. And so like having friends who are working toward what you're also working toward in similar ways is always so helpful. Hey, BA fam, we're on YouTube. Woohoo! Thank you so much for watching. Please like this video and subscribe to the channel.
And while you're at it, why don't you go over to that little bell icon and just tap that for us. Show the BA fam how much you love us. And that way you'll also get notifications when new videos drop. Also, share the channel with a friend. We're always like, tell a friend, tell a friend, tell a friend. And thank y'all so much again for all the support.